For over a century and a half, Canadians took for granted that when people came here from around the world, they left their problems behind. Foreign wars stayed on the other side of the pond. But after a decade of liberal immigration, liberal borders, liberal catch and release crime, liberal terror laws, those problems are coming here. Harassment and intimidation, guns for hire, shootings at homes, businesses and schools, foreign regimes paying for attacks on Canadian soil have become a regular story. Canada's Persian community is one of the prime victims. The media reports there are 700 IRGC-linked officials on the ground and many more who are part of that regime who continue to terrorize people and use the plunder they stole from the Iranian people. It's time for real action. Finally set up the Foreign Agent Registry, kick out the IRGC and other regime officials, and prevent new ones from coming in. Then and only then will we make Canada safe at home and restore the promise here at home.
The honourable member for Don Valley West.
Mr. Speaker, June is ALS Awareness Month. As a progressive and fatal neurodegenerative disease, ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, gradually reduces a person's ability to move, speak, eat, and eventually breathe. Daily life changes within months of diagnosis. Life expectancy is dramatically reduced. However, there's hope. Researchers are making impressive advances in ALS treatment. Last year, scientists at Sunnybrook Hospital's Hurwitz Brain Sciences program in Don Valley West achieved a world first by non-invasively delivering immunotherapy directly to the brain of an ALS patient. Home to Canada's largest ALS clinic, Sunnybrook is steadily improving care for patients with ALS. The ALS Society is central to this. To them, I say congratulations for nearly 50 years of advocacy representing Canadians with ALS. And lastly, to patients with ALS, like the late Marie Bélanger and my friend Chris May, and to your families, your courage inspires us every day. Thank you.
And thank you, Raven, for the 21 months. Holy smokes. I can't believe it's been that long already.
Oral questions.
Oral question.
Leader of the Opposition.
Let's go, Pierre.
While this Prime Minister is going into his third session, I ask a question. Are your groceries, gas, mortgage payments cheaper? Are streets safer? Canada is the only G20 country in a recession. We've doubled our deficit. The cost of gas, groceries, mortgages are nearing historical highs. What other illusions and promises and excuses can the Prime Minister make? Can he stand up now to defend his results, disastrous results? The Honourable Government House Leader. Mr. Speaker, since we are ending a very productive session, I would like to wish the Leader of the Opposition and his entire family a lovely summer, and may he benefit, like us all, from time with our family. Of course, we did deliver 21 pieces of legislation, and we were able to deliver the biggest criminal justice reform in the history of our country. We delivered cost of living reductions for millions of Canadians, and we are going to continue our hard work and move forward. The Honourable Mr. Speaker, the question was for the Prime Minister, who missed his 100th QP session to defend his track record on the cost of living and this Liberal recession and the doubling of the deficit. You know that we are cutting close to the line here on some of the standing orders. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition may continue, but I would ask him to be careful, please. We're going to be careful about the fact that the Prime Minister cannot defend the cost of living, which is skyrocketing, this Liberal recession, which is the only in the G20, at the same time that he's playing with smoke and mirrors and apologies. He should be responsible. So can he rise in the House of Commons and explain when will life cost less, be more affordable, when this Liberal recession end? The Honourable Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, in this last question period before the summer period, I would have expected the Leader of the Opposition to thank the Prime Minister of Canada, in fact, for the work he has done at the G7. He brought back 3 agreements worth $5 billion. And he's also representing Canada in an international event today. So on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker, we're talking about 174 Liberal MPs who form a strong team to build a strong Canada, and we're going to build the strongest economy in the G7, and I hope that the Leader of the Opposition will applaud the success of this government. The Honourable
Position.
As the Prime Minister ends his 3rd session, I ask you a question. Are your groceries, your gas, your mortgage payments more affordable than they were a year ago? Are your streets more safe, or are they more riddled with crime? Aside from his endless announcements, excuses, and promises, this Prime Minister has doubled the deficit, increased housing costs, home building is actually down, gas, groceries, and mortgage payments nearing record highs. So will the Prime Minister put aside the illusions and stand up in this House of Commons now and defend his disastrous results?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Well, Mr. Speaker, we are at the end of a session, and I wish the Leader of the Opposition, his colleagues, and obviously his family restful summer, as I wish to all my colleagues on this side of the House. I do want to point out, Mr. Speaker, that we are finishing one of the most productive legislative sessions in recent history. 21 bills have become law through this chamber, the largest criminal justice reform passed in the history of Canada. Liberals are the law and order party now, and we have put in place a series of measures to make life easier and more affordable for Canadians. We're not stopping there. We're going to continue the work. We're going to build Canada strong, and we're going to make this country proud.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
No, we do not plan a restful summer. We plan all summer long to fight against the Liberal recession, Liberal inflation, the rising Liberal cost of living, and the rising Liberal crime crisis in our streets. Take, for example, investment. This Liberal Prime Minister promised he would increase it. He's delivered 5 consecutive quarters of declining investment. This is the only G7 country who has done that. One of the reasons why our country is in a recession that means paychecks down and the cost of living up. So will the Canadian people deserve accountability and results? Will the Prime Minister stand and deliver both now?
The Honourable Minister of Finance.
Come to the end of the session, you would expect a Leader of the Opposition to be a bit more cheerful, Mr. Speaker, because in fact they are good news, Mr. Speaker. If he wants to look at results, Canada is the 2nd fastest growing economy in the G7, Mr. Speaker. The G7, Mr. Speaker. We have seen investment in machinery and equipment is up, Mr. Speaker. We have seen that business investment in intellectual property is up, Mr. Speaker. Instead of complaining, you should celebrate our workers, our industry, and Canada. Let's build Canada strong together, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
That's not just an illusion, that's a hallucination. The government's own statistical agency says the economy is shrinking. Yes. It shrunk this quarter, and it shrunk the quarter before that. In fact, it shrunk 3 out of the last 4 quarters. You can't be the second fastest growing when you are shrinking, as the Minister of Finance might appreciate and relate to, Mr. Speaker. So the question is for the Prime Minister, who has delivered the only recession in the G7 with consequences of higher costs for Canadians. Will he stand and defend the results instead of the...
The Honourable Minister of Jobs and Families.
Mr. Speaker, what an insult to the hard-working tradespeople and building unions across this country who've been standing with this government, fighting to build Canada strong, fighting to train their members and make sure more young people have great skilled jobs that pay fabulous wages, something I thought those guys were for, and vote against every single time. What an insult to the hard-working entrepreneurs across this country who have banded together to build up this country. Maybe they should stop talking down Canada.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
The Liberal Prime Minister cannot defend his disastrous record. And this is the same path and journey with him every single time. He takes on a big fancy job, and then he causes disastrous costs for people, and then moves on before he can be held accountable. He caused the worst inflation in the G7 as the governor of the Bank of England, along with a housing crisis. He was Justin Trudeau's economic advisor, doubling housing costs, debt, and food bank lineups. And now he's delivered the only G7 recession, and he is unable to defend his results. Will he stand today and give accountability and results to hardworking Canadians?